only question then comes in, how fast can universities in Africa come together strongly under such conferences and provide guidelines that can be able to suggest to the regulators? So that is something to think about. Thank you.
Thank you. We said we want to keep, let us appreciate him. We have said we want to keep our minds running because we are thinking without a box. Hakuna box hapa, whether in or outside it. We just don't have a box. And those of us who are here early in the morning, you remember I talked about constructivism, eh? And that's the space we are working in right now. If you haven't read much about it, it is a philosophical orientation of how we need to look at some things or the way some people look at things. And that is the way I think we all need to do. Just allow yourself to think and allow yourself to think to a solution. A solution of the problem that you have today, and tomorrow again, think about the problem you have tomorrow and think towards that problem. You don't say, but yesterday I solved it like this. Why isn't it working today? It should work. It must work. It won't work. Get the other solution. Think about it the other way around. And I'm sure we'll get there. About 2 months ago, I was with my children, again Gen Zs, to young adults and thereabout. And they were telling me, Mom, do you know, you don't know that your phone can do so many things for you. First, do you even know this thing that keeps flickering on your phone? Eh? You know, as you update now, for example, I have a Samsung. I've discovered now with the updates on Samsung, my phone is a dynamite. It can do things for me. So they said, do you know you can even ask it to speak in mother tongue with the AI tool, eh? And it's likely to do that. And do you know we did that with several languages in the house? And it was able to do it? And I was like, yeah. You know, I'm coming to that because of what our brother said and the discussion we have had. Is it possible then we can now appropriate these same tools within our indigenous context? It is possible. So that we don't worry that it is here with us. But we ask, how can we then appropriate it? And think about those innovations. We have our young people who are doing things with technology. Can't they see it from where it is at the moment and say, then what can we do with this AI and all this digital, everything around us and the technology around us, but appropriate it to do things for us as they are in our context. And I'm sure it can happen. It's only a matter of us allowing ourselves to go out there. So I think we shouldn't be too worried. Instead of us probably pushing ourselves into a corner of worry, we should then ask, now that it is here, what do I do with it? I've tried to take it away. Instead, tomorrow when I wake up, it's doing something new. It's another new thing. How do I use it? And I'm sure we will find it very useful for ourselves and how we can appropriate it to make, for us, those of us from universities, to ensure that we are able to come up with very innovative, very forward-looking curricula. We then can capacity build ourselves as faculty, as those who get into those classrooms, to have the most and be equipped with the most innovative ways, competencies and skills to be able to use that technology for purposes of teaching. And then also retool our learners, capacity build our learners too, because they also sometimes get into that space depending on where they come from, so that we work in a space where we are always telling ourselves, I don't think I know enough. I need to know a little more. And I think if we get there, listening to everyone who has spoken today and probably what we heard from our breakout rooms, I'm sure we will move a step forward. Even our research. The other day, our librarian was demonstrating a new, would say, tool that we are now using within our library platform, how we can access some material. And this particular platform can do for you so many things at the same time. You can even ask it to, for example, if you have the topic which you're researching on, to get for you information or first find for you all the books that have information about that particular topic. And it's going to outline them for you. But besides that, it will also, at the same time as you further prompt it, it will also be able to give you the specific quotations from each of those books, and it gives you the specific page. Those of us who did our masters those days, when it was still the typewriter, I remember that's how I did my masters. Then later, of course, came the desktops. That's the time some of us were doing our PhD, and you have to get where the desktop is to do it. You had to read books, and we had to go to the library physically, isn't it? To read. I remember I bought books. Now I have so many books, and I wonder what to do with them. I wish I could convert them to digital. My library is so huge. But right now we can access all this material. But besides that tool doing that for us on our platform, it gets for you those references. And if you want further explanation, you prompt it, and it gives you a further explanation. And all you have to do is to appropriate all that, and you can write your paper. So how long do I need to write a paper if I have such a tool? It means even our research has been eased up. But how do you appropriate it to ensure that you also don't become a lazy bone, isn't it? You don't get to a point where you're no longer thinking, but you put yourself into that, think, and it makes your life easy. So that is the space where we are. So let us walk this journey with anticipation, with excitement, knowing that we have a good forward for us. So as we get closer to the end, okay. Thank you so much for, again, guidance. Now, we want to recognize yet another group of people who are here with us. That is Equity. Maybe if they're somewhere they can only wave. They are not talking. They're just waving. Equity has been of great support. Great support to us. And we do appreciate what they have brought on board just to make our life. I can see somebody coming. Equity, just wave. You will not speak. Yes, at the door. Let us appreciate Equity. Let us appreciate Equity. Thank you so much. And let us interact. They are out there. They've been of great support, and they are part of those that have made this to be what it is. I'm very sure right now our stomachs must be talking to us. We normally get to a moment and you have a lot of communion with your stomach. And the communion with the stomach usually sometimes gets a little nasty, especially when you keep taking longer to get closer to the food. So I think at this time what we shall do is break for lunch. But again, I would like us to take our lunch like soldiers. Right? Soldiers don't take their time and chat and do all these things. They are ready for war anytime. Right? So I want us to take our lunch like soldiers, do it very quickly, but also enjoy the food. So that when we come back, again, your stomach is not speaking another language because you are too fast with it. So while we are thinking about that, I'm just being reminded that since our guests will not be here with us in the afternoon, or even if they will, we would like to appreciate them. And at this point, I would like to invite our Vice Chancellor. To give the gifts. And I will call out each one of them, one by one. beginning by the very first one who spoke with us. They're here. So the representative from the ministry, Daktari Paul, thank you so much. We do appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Just to appreciate your presence and the very insightful speech that you did offer, very educative. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Next, we have Prof. Mike Kuria. Kindly. We do appreciate the presentation that you took us through, very educative, and has left us thinking about how can we be part of policy creation through our experience. Thank you so much. Next, we have Winnie. Welcome. Thank you so much. What can we do about our education for us, to work for us? And we must keep thinking. Thank you so much. We do appreciate each one of you. And each time you look at those gifts, we remember this day and the impact that you have left. So now we have the moment to get to our lunch. A bit of housekeeping again. Once we have our lunch, remember we are doing it very fast, like soldiers. We will come back here, converge, then we will receive direction on our next steps. Okay. Again, further direction, because of our timing and the other activities we are likely to do in the afternoon, let us just follow what is there on the program. So before our lunch, as we plan to leave to go, we will do a group photo at that building. You will be directed by the ushers, the building just where we had our meals. And soon after that, we'll also have some tree planting, and then now we proceed for our lunch. Okay, so ushers, kindly guide us, Ushers, kindly guide us. The ushers in the room, kindly guide us. And we'll have the guests leave first, then the rest of us can follow. The ushers can guide us on that.
Where are we going to do the? Please say what you're going to do.
Okay, we'll plant just adjacent to